Lisa King, and I'm a pharmacist of 32 years and a healthcare provider blogger known as the Fulfilled Pharmacist. I'm super excited to be talking to you today, and I'm coming to you right from my bathroom because this is right where my healthy living journey started. So I wanted to share with you today all of the steps that I took to get started on a healthy living journey and why it's so important for you to learn about this information as well. My healthy living journey started about 6 years ago after my mother's second breast cancer diagnosis. My mom and my sister are both breast cancer survivors, and my mom was diagnosed twice. So about this time, I wanted to do whatever it was that I could to prevent this disease for myself. So I really just started with reducing toxins in my skincare, my makeup. Then it went on to reducing toxins in my environment, healthier eating, but this is where I started. And so it was just super important for me because it was something that I could control. I could read labels, I could see what I was putting on my skin. I didn't always do that. Maybe I was eating some things that I shouldn't have, or I didn't have different options when I was out, but what I was putting on my skin and in my makeup was something that I really could control. And it's something that's just so important to start reading labels on what you're putting on your skin and and what's in your makeup. It's something that's very, very important, and I'm going to tell you why. There's 3 different reasons I'm going to touch on today, but there's just so many more when you really start looking at it. So what really I started doing was just looking at what ingredients were in my skincare. And really the big ones to look for are not to have any parabens, phthalates, fragrance, mineral oils. So your skin is your largest organ, and what you put on it is very, very quickly absorbed into your skin. And really as a pharmacist, this really struck me because when I was in retail pharmacy for so many years, we would dispense things like a pain patch or a nicotine patch for someone to stop smoking, or even estrogen patches. And some of these estrogen patches were really tiny, even the size of my fingernail. And they provided enough estrogen to last half of a week. So when you think about what you're putting on your skin, when you're taking a shower or shampooing your hair and it's washing all over your body, that's really absorbing into your skin. And there's just many different things that can happen with this. So really start looking at your labels, and just because something is labeled as organic or natural, it may also have some of these ingredients in here. I've seen this a lot recently, and it's been a little disappointing to me that I'll reach for a product that looks like it's something that I may want to use, and it has fragrance in there. And sometimes those fragrances are natural through essential oils, but sometimes they're not. And I'm very sensitive to fragrance. I often get migraines. So really fragrance is something that I really stay away from as well. So really look at those labels, start reading labels, and you'll be surprised at how many different options you have out there. So just it's a fun way to get started. And if it seems overwhelming, you don't have to do it all at once. So as you're going through, you've just used up some makeup, eyeshadow, and you need to buy a new one, choose a new product. So today I'm wearing a little bit more of a dramatic look, and this I will show you. It's from Simple Beauty Minerals. So I have the darker color here, and then the lighter color that I applied on my brow bone, and I have a little of the sample of the apricot blush that I used for the blush today. So it's a little bit more than I would wear during the day to go grocery shopping, which I'm going to do afterwards, but hey, I like it. So it's really fun to choose these types of makeup. And the other thing that I think that you'll really like when you start wearing products that don't have mineral oil in them, mineral oil sits on the top of your skin. Botanical products absorb into your skin, and you really wind up having a beautiful glow. So not only is this good for your health, it just really helps the appearance of your skin as well. So as I touched on before, one of the reasons that I started on this healthy living journey was because my mom and my sister were both breast cancer survivors. So one of the things when your body does absorb these toxins through your skin, and a toxin is anything that your body can't use for energy. So it kind of sounds like a scary word, but there's toxins in the air we breathe, what we put on our skin, in the foods that we eat, and we have 2 detox pathways, the liver and the kidneys. So sometimes there's a little bit of a buildup here. Our body does have a great way of removing these products, but sometimes if you get too many, it's like that lint in your dryer. You know, your dryer doesn't work quite as well when there's that lint in the dryer, so when you can help clear it off by different ways of detoxing and just reducing those chemicals that you're putting on your skin, it's very, very helpful. So this extra toxins that you're putting into your system can cause estrogen dominance. And estrogen dominance can lead to anything from having fibroids to breast cancer. So this is one really important reason for me to reduce that estrogen dominance, why I started reducing chemicals in my skincare and makeup. The other thing is it really is a way to help reduce symptoms of autoimmune disease. I was diagnosed many years ago with interstitial cystitis or painful bladder syndrome. And it's a syndrome that causes a very painful bladder, and it's now thought to be autoimmune. So reducing those toxins was very important to reduce the symptoms of my autoimmune disease as well. The other thing is, through the years, I've just talked to so many different women, because that's what I do. I help women who have painful bladder, overactive bladder, gain freedom from bladder issues. And when you think about it, the bladder is somewhat of a holding tank of that detox pathway. So when you're absorbing these things into the skin and it's going through your kidneys, that detox pathway, it's being held in the bladder. And even if you take a bath, I've talked to so many women who've had a very fragrant bath, afterwards their bladder really hurts. It's very irritated because of the absorption of chemicals and it passing through the bladder. So even if you've had a UTI recently, a urinary tract infection, and your bladder is very irritated, doing all this, reducing these toxins, is just one way to help stop that bladder irritation as well. So the estrogen dominance, reducing signs of autoimmunity, and just overall hormone balance as well. So as women, we tend to carry extra toxins in our midsection and inner thighs. And so when you start reducing these toxins, it really helps to remove those toxins and reduce that belly fat, that type of thing. So really, it's not only good for your health, but it's really good for you to look your best as well. So really, it's just a great way to start. Don't be overwhelmed. Start one day at a time. Just as you need a new product, go ahead and buy that new item that has less toxins, less minerals. Again, look, the main ones to look for, and there's others that you can look up, but the main ones are parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, and fragrance. Those are really the biggies. And really just start on this new way to a healthier lifestyle. So whether you've already done this yourself, congratulations, this is great. Or if you are really into exercise and what you eat, this is just a wonderful extra layer to add onto your healthy living routine. So hope you guys found this informative today, and I'll talk to you soon.